Activists from San Francisco's Fillmore district marched down to City Hall today. They're demanding the Board of Supervisors address the closure of the neighborhood's Safeway store. Their goal isn't to keep Safeway from leaving, rather to add a new grocery store. And they want to be included in these discussions.
We're not playing. We're demanding. We're not requesting. We're demanding. We're not urging you. We're demanding you. And we want all the new supervisors to understand this can be a beautiful relationship or a sour relationship.
You know, why does stuff happen all the damn time in the black communities? Why? You know, again, man, you have rampant theft. And people can't understand why the damn store is closing. They can't stay open. Can't. They're losing money. That's the reason why they're open to begin with. Is to make money. But again, instead of dealing with the problem, instead of dealing with what's happening, again, they blame the damn store. Again, they're closing down due to theft. Again, you're taking everything they have. And again, it's not your fault. Oh, no. It's not black people's fault. Now, I'm not saying all black people, but again, this happens primarily in black areas. Why? Well, because again, low income, again, making excuses for everything they do or don't do. One thing you don't do, you don't raise your kids right. They're out there again breaking in, stealing stuff and taking whatever they want, assaulting people, doing whatever they want. They're out there doing. And again, man, if anybody says that thing, if anyone arrests them, they start yelling, what? Racism. You can't do that. You can't lock me up. I didn't do nothing wrong. Again, no offense, but they're bad for this country. You're bad for the country. Yeah, man, I'm not saying that that we ought to discriminate against people or whatever. Of course not. But what I am saying is, again, acknowledge what the real problem is so we can get to fixing it. And again, this problem is something black people have got to work on themselves. They've got to be honest. They've got to be willing to stand up and say, you know what? We're sick of the stuff happening in our community. We're stopping it right now. We are going to deal with the actual problem instead of blaming somebody else for it. Instead of blaming white people, systemic racism. We're going to deal with ourselves. That's not what the problem is. The problem's not white people. The problem's not slavery from hundreds of years ago. The problem is us. Again, we're entitled. We believe we can do whatever the hell we want. Again, if anyone says, no, you can't. No, you're going to jail. No, you're... Again, we're going to scream and yell and say racism and whatever. George Floyd, I can't breathe. Whatever. Again, we're going to say it. Instead of actually acknowledging, you know what? We are the problem in our own areas. We are getting stores shut down. They're running away from you. That's what the problem is. They're running from you.
So the shelves of the store are bare. Newly elected Fillmore Supervisor Bilal Mahmood says produce and meat are now gone, but prescription services will continue until the store's closure on February 7th. Kenny Choice spoke to some customers who say the frenzy to find deals shows the needs of this community and more.
George Gibbs has shopped for groceries at the Safeway on Webster Street in the Fillmore district for years.
It's convenient because this is the only store that's close.
Most shelves have been cleared out by eager shoppers looking for deals, including the Vietnam veteran who suffered a near life-threatening injury. When the store closes on February 7th, there will be other options for Gibbs who has a car, but the farther distance to the next closest store and price point are concerns for many.
You can go to some place like Molly Stone and it's really expensive.
Other shoppers like Sabine Dabadi, who lives in Oakland, picked up some discounted items.
You drove here, gotcha.
But primarily came to see and hear about how the pending closure will impact everyday residents nearby.
A store of this size and footprint being vacant as well as the parking lot doesn't bode well for the surrounding community and a kind of like active livelihood. It becomes like this desolate ground that feels strange.
Dabadi has worked for nonprofits focused on affordable housing solutions and increasing healthy food access points. She's concerned for everyday residents who will be challenged to make ends meet by added costs, including transportation.
Essentially, the folks who need this place and like can't rely or move farther, or can't go farther, or can't use more money towards cabs and cars or Ubers or Lyfts or what have you.
Safeway has announced it will close this location, citing theft and safety concerns for customers and employees.
I've seen people around the door with stuff and running across the parking lot. I've seen folks walk out in handcuffs for stealing something.
Gibbs is disappointed, but acknowledges why it's closing.
A lot of stuff goes on here. Yeah, that doesn't go on in other Safeways, other stores.
The closure is a loss for Gibbs, but even more so for many of his neighbors who won't have as many options.
Not only are they losing money, but again, like they said, their employees are not safe. They employ like 20 security guards. I was looking at a picture, man. There's security all over the place. And they're still not safe. They're not safe. And, you know, again, they worry about people that they send in there to manage. And, you know, but they're going to demand that they stay open. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? I mean, think about it for a minute, man. What kind of bullshit is somebody that's going to demand the store stay open, you know, so they can rob it, so they can loot, so they can do whatever they want? You know, that store provides me with a place to steal. You're going to take that away from me. What the hell? I mean, again, that is what's happening. You know, and that Vietnam veteran, that man probably about my father's age. I mean, they're the ones that lose out. They're the ones that lose. You know, again, these people that have kids don't raise their kids because they themselves weren't raised. And, you know, the kids go out, they commit crimes. They do whatever the hell they want to do. And they say something. If you say, hey, look, man, you can't do that. You can't act that way. They're like, oh, racism. Racism. It's all due to racism. No, it's not. No, it is not. It's due to entitled little bitches having kids and not raising their kids to do right. It's, you know, it's due to not having love in the homes. Again, you're too busy fighting the man, fighting this, fighting that, taking this, taking that. You have no love. You have no goodness. If you don't, that's the way you're going to raise your kids. And your kids are going to act the same way, even worse. It gets worse with every generation. So again, Safeway, they have every right to close. And you have no right to demand them stay open. If you guys would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a